Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from Urban Digs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market report. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn supply, came in at 32.48. Show me that chart.
32.48, Noah, that's right. That's about 1% lower from where it was last week. And, we've been seeing Brooklyn supply sort of drift sideways for the last
and
several weeks.
Yeah, we're going to look into that a little more, see if we have any clues as to why that inventory is going down. Maybe some clarity comes before the end of the show, but it is what it is. Some are slow in Brooklyn, but not a lot of inventory. Let's look at demand, see what that's doing. I'm looking at the Urban Digs pending sales. Brooklyn demand, 3,623. Johnny, show me that chart.
That's right. And, Noah, this is about 20 units shy of where it was last week. And I think we're going to see this as we get into the weeklies, which is the week we just had was almost a carbon copy of the week that was before it. And a lot of the themes that have held place are still in play today, namely that supply is not necessarily coming on and contract signs keep continuing.
Yeah, and that's why we have a market pulse well over one. And I mean, as long as that's well over one, that means that we got more stuff in contract versus what's even available for sale. And that's going to tell you that the real-time dynamics in the field right now, that leverage is going to be shifted and biased towards the sell side. Of course, it doesn't mean sellers can just ask whatever price they want. The market will still only produce what the market wants to produce for price. But in terms of leverage and negotiation, technically, if you price right, that thing should sell quickly. That's what that means. Plenty of liquidity. Let's go over to the weeklies, Urban Digs dashboard, see if we can see what's going on over there. Brooklyn 1 week, 252 things came on the market. That looks like it's down a tick. Johnny, show me that chart.
I mean, a tick would be a large amount. I mean, this is down 5 units from the week before. So like I said, it's a carbon copy and we're just sort of, really going sideways here.
Exactly. Let's take a look at that 1 week measure of demand. We're always looking at supply. We're looking at demand. 1 week, Brooklyn, 208 things came to contract. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah. And again, Noah, continuing my carbon copy theory, this was down, or this is actually one more unit in contract this week as opposed to last week. And 208, Noah, if you look at it, just 2021, I mean, just to continue this freight train hypothesis that we've been talking about for the last months or so, we've had 29 weeks so far this year, of which in Brooklyn, 19 have had more than 200 contract signs.
It's just slow and steady. It's just very strong. And when I look at the 1 months in Brooklyn, we are seasonally down. There's the same story in Brooklyn as in Manhattan. We're fading from seasonally unsustainable record levels, but historically, we're just so far above the historical average that it's not feeling like a slowdown. And I can't help but continue to point out that if only 950 things are coming on the market and 815 of them are going off in contract signed and another 468 are going off, you got that net decrease in supply. And that is what is continuing to allow sellers to maintain that market pulse, that leverage indicator. It's a very strong market any which way you slice and dice it. Now, let's go outside of Urban Digs and let's show you exactly why that inventory is pressured down. And what you're looking at here, folks, is where did all the Brooklyn supply go? Well, if you take into account the stuff that came on and then take into account the stuff that went into contract and off, this chart is going to visually show you which way that supply is headed, that net effect. Johnny, what do you see here?
Well, I mean, basically, we've been losing inventory since sort of the third quarter of 2020. That's pretty much what we've seen. So yes, we're talking about every week we're adding inventory, this and that, but you added just like what you said, you take those contract signs, you take those off market, and frankly, we've had one month of a net positive increase in September, October. It's crazy.
And that was not a big increase at all. That would look like it just eked out an increase, if that, in April of last year. But yeah, that is what's going on. And this is like becoming a trend and it's getting a little tiring, but it is what it is. And this is why that market is doing what it's doing. I mean, there are no bubbles here at all. It's just a fundamentally strong market, and the inventory is pressured to the downside. Now, if we slice and dice this in a different way and take a look at, well, let's look at all the Brooklyn sales that are trading and closing over the asking price, just to kind of get a sense of what's happening, and then draw a red line for the long-term average, you could see where we are right now. And again, you look at this last 6 months or so, with the exception of 2 months, 6 out of the last 8 months we're trading with elevated items going over the asking price.
Yeah, well, not only that, I mean, it looks like we set a record back in March for the number of units that traded over the asking price. And that's, I think, par for the course. And I think that's what you're seeing. That's sort of the that's the result of that negative inventory that we've got, is that we've got buyers chasing things. And this is what it looks like when you chase stuff. I mean, it's just, you're going to see a lot more sales happening at or over the asking price.
Yeah, humans do funny things when there's an urgency involved. And whenever real estate has that sense of urgency, you tend to get this kind of stuff. So I would agree. John Walkup, thank you very much for pulling up all that data. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, if you got questions, we got answers, please visit our forum down here. Other than that, this has been your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update. We'll catch you next time.